name is Abraham Wesley. I come from a small town called Camilla, Georgia, raised by a single mother of 3 kids, 2 boys, 1 girl. I grew up in a town where I didn't know what being gay was. I didn't even know what homosexual was. I never heard the word before anything. And if there was anybody that was gay, you never knew. I just always knew that I was different. I knew that there was something that was so much different about me that stood out from everybody else, but I actually still thought that I was normal. I thought that I was normal like everybody else. I knew that I was supposed to date girls. I knew I was supposed to have sex with girls, but I thought it was okay that I had attraction for certain guys until, you know, I met this guy who was a mentor of mine, and then he tried to pretty much seduce me. And that betrayed me. Like I felt really bad. I felt nasty. I felt disgusting. I literally like have scrubbed almost flesh from my body because I felt bad.
I come from a family where being gay, period, was something that was not accepted. It wasn't tolerated and things like that. But as I grew up to talk to my family, they were all pretty much like, oh, we already knew, we already knew. I remember back in daycare and everything, I always wanted to be the mom. I always, you know, wanted to wear the dress, that dressed up time. I always wanted to wear the heels. I always wanted to be in control. So I can remember things like that. And so growing up in a home where being gay wasn't accepted was really difficult. I had to literally try to hide who I was just to get by.
The good thing is that he never actually was successful with what he was doing. It was something that he just tried to do. And, you know, I was able to overcome that. And so I left when I graduated from high school. My mother passed in 2001. And I was so messed up about it. I went and I signed up for the United States Marine Corps, and I left. And while stationed in Quantico, Virginia, I went out and I started meeting people, and they took me to these clubs, and it's like I'm meeting people who are just like me, and a whole new life of mine was just open up. But the crazy thing is I still never took the time to experience that part of me. I still never took the time to act on any of that. I went through the Marine Corps. I had it was almost an experience with a guy. We were wrestling around, and, you know, things started arising while we were wrestling, and it was like, oh my. So we stopped, and I just kind of, you know, I got afraid and I stopped, but it made me feel so good. But I suppressed and I kept moving forward. It wasn't until maybe about 2009, 2008, maybe 2009, someone that I trusted who was openly gay, we decided that we would try some things, and we did, and I felt something explode on the inside of me. I'm like, oh my God, this is what I've been missing all of these years. You know, this is like 20-something, almost 30 years of something that I've been missing. Like, oh my God, is this what that sensation is supposed to feel like? And I just felt like something was great.
I ended up getting into a relationship with a pastor. And of course, it was only supposed to be a one-night stand, something that wasn't supposed to be anything. So of course I'm thinking, okay, I'm sneaking to his hotel, sneaking mama's car for a one-night stand. Oh my God, this is fun, dandy, everything is good, everything is fabulous. But of course, after that, it was different, kind of like, this is interesting. I knew deep down inside, oh my God, I really want this man. But this man is telling me this will never be. So I'm kind of like, okay, maybe you should just take it for what it is. So at the time, I had a boyfriend, a whole nother boyfriend outside of him. And so while me and him are sleeping together, he decides, okay, I want to start this church. Now I'm confused, like, oh my God, I'm about to start a church with this guy who I'm really into, but now I have a whole boyfriend. So of course, you know, everything ended up coming out the bag. I got upset with him one day, and so I ended up telling everything. Like, I told everybody, like, me and him were together, we slept together, and I'm talking about me and the pastor. So once everything came out, he and I had a conversation. We ended up living together, and so things began to go pretty well for us. Eventually, later down the line, we ended up getting engaged. Then we ended up getting married, and then we ended up moving out of town.
On the last day of school for Dougherty County School System, my phone was ringing off the hook. I mean, it was ringing off the hook. People texting me, they're calling me, they're leaving me messages. And so I answered, and they realized like, oh my God, why are you on the news? And I'm like, what are you talking about? It was like, you need to go look at the news. And I'm like, okay, can somebody please tell me what's going on? No one could tell me. They was just saying, you need to go and look at the news. So I go online and I pull the news up. I'm the headline of the news. Local teacher fired for sexting. I'm like, what? And so now I'm beginning to go back and look at myself, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to recap my thoughts, recap my activity, recap everything that I've been doing over the last few months, because in my mind and everything in me, I know I wasn't there. But when you're sitting there looking at a report of you, and you're standing in front of a camera and you're talking, and it seems as if you are actually, admitting to whatever the allegations is that they are, you know, basically putting on you, it makes you start thinking. So I'm thinking back, and I'm like, oh my God, what was I doing in February? Like, I wasn't even in Albany in February. Like, I was in Atlanta. Like, what's going on? Well, I'm like, all right, it was horrible. My whole world began to sink, because I love kids, and it's like for someone to try to accuse me of trying to basically molest one of my students on a basketball team. It really did something to me, and I felt betrayed. I felt disgusting. I just felt nasty.
My husband ends up going to jail. Well, I did not have a job. I didn't have a source of income. I had been going on interview after interview after interview. Nothing was going well. So I thought about this thing like, well, what is it that you do well? And of course, the first thing that came to mind is, well, I've slept with all them men, so hey, I think I'm pretty good at it by now. So I ended up doing what I have to do to get by. So yes, I started escorting. So a lot of people know that about me. I'm very open, very transparent, and I tell people I've escorted. Is this something that I'm proud of? No, but it's something that I've done, and I don't regret it, because it's literally made me the person that I am today. And so meanwhile, I started escorting. I noticed that guys like really, really feminine guys. And again, as I said, in my childhood, I've always played dress up. I've always wore dresses. I've always wanted to wear heels. I've always tried on my mom's clothes and everything like that. So I took the opportunity and I said, okay, let me go get my nails done. I said, I'm just gonna do nails, maybe lashes, brows, nothing more. That's where I'm gonna stop. That's it, that's all I'm gonna do. But once I started doing that and I started seeing the attention that I started getting, I literally had a guy follow me from the gas station and literally stopped me on the side of the road and was like, pull over, pull over. And I'm like, oh my God, what does he want? And I'm in the car with my sister like, oh my God, what does he want? So finally I pulled over. So he gets out the car like, oh my God, you're very attractive. I want to get to know you, blah, 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 blah. And of course I gave him the spiel like, sweetheart, if you don't got no coins, we can't do nothing. It can't be nothing. So of course, you know, we ended up talking and we made some agreements and things like that. So we ended up hooking up. And then from there, it was like, oh my God, I really want to transition. Like, this is something I've been wanting to do, something I've been longing for. So I did it. But I never told my husband.
So I'm like, all right, I was embarrassed and all of that, because now I went from being someone who was a prominent pastor to now being someone who's in the face of the news for possible allegations of child molestation that never happened. So I'm like, oh my God, what's really going on? So that began to die down. Once that died down and there was no more talk about that, after about 2 weeks of going on about that, I'm in the news again. Local teacher that was fired for sexting falsified his credentials to get his job. I'm like, oh my damn, can I get a break? Like, seriously. I sat in jail through Halloween. I sat in jail through Thanksgiving. I sat in jail through my birthday. I think I got out right before Christmas, a couple of days before Christmas in 2010. And it was a horrible experience. So when I get out of jail, well, one of the first things that happened, the DA, he hated me so much. He wanted the judge to throw the book at me, and the judge was like, why do you hate this man so much? This man has never done anything to you. Why do you hate this man so much? And he said, I don't want him in my county anymore. So the judge banned me from my hometown. I could not go home. I could not see my family. I could not be around my family. If I was caught in that city, if I was caught in that county, they would lock me up and I would be in jail. The maximum fine, the maximum sentence that I could get for each count was 10 years. I could have sat in jail for up to 20 years had I showed my face in my hometown. I could not visit my family. I could not see anyone. I could not do anything. It was a detrimental experience.
So my husband calls me one day, literally 5 o'clock in the morning. It's like, oh my God, I'm out. They let me go. So I go to pick him up. Mind you, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I didn't have on makeup or anything like that. So I'm like, oh my God, let me at least put on my wig because I'm so excited about my transition, not realizing that I never even told him about my transition. So anyway, I pull up to the jail. He gets in the car. And I'm like, oh my God, hey. He looks at me crazy. And I'm like, oh my God, I miss you. Like, hey, what's up? And he's kind of real dry, like, oh. So I was like, well, babe, do you like my hair? He was like, well, I'm really tired. I really just want to go to sleep. And I was like, what the hell? Cool. So we get to the house, he goes to sleep and everything like that. It wasn't until literally days, maybe weeks later, until he finally told me, like, I really don't like that hair. So I was like, do you not like the hair, or do you not like the fact that I've transitioned? And at this point, I'm on defense mode because at the end of the day, you told me that you were going to love me for me no matter what. I understand that I never told you, but at the end of the day, I'm still the same person. I just transitioned.
When I went to jail 30 days before that, I left my husband at home. I talked to this person every single day, sometimes 3 and 4 times a day. And they never told me I'm transitioning. When I got picked up from DeKalb County Jail at 5 o'clock in the morning, an unknown person picked me up, someone that I did not know, someone that I'm meeting for the first time, that I've been legally married to for 2 years, picks me up and says, how do you like my hair? My response, it's too early in the morning, I just want to go to sleep. I felt betrayed. I was embarrassed. I didn't go anywhere with her for 2 weeks because I didn't want to deal with it. Something transpired with my wife and her mother where they got into it about this whole situation, and I saw how much that it was important to her. I saw how much it hurt her. I saw how emotional it made her feel. So I said, who am I to tell someone that they cannot be happy about who they are when I could just accept them for who they are? After all, people accepted me for coming out as an openly gay pastor. Why can I not accept you for being a transgender woman? So then I began to work with her and I began to help groom her. And it's like, okay, I don't like that hair. And she said, would you like to go hair shopping with me? And I said, oh, absolutely, I'll go. And so then I began to go hair shopping with her. I began to go clothes shopping with her. I began to go shoe shopping with her, and all of these things because there was a whole lot of work that we had to do. My thing is I made those vows to death do us part, for better or for worse. And I took those vows very seriously. And so we made it through those points. We made it through a lot of things. We made it through a lot of the cheating. We made it through a lot of the lying. We made it through a lot of the conniving and the setting up and all of those things to the point to where we are today.
And from there, it has been absolutely amazing. Then, you know, everything is good. The transition, everything is great. Finally, my mom ends up seeing it on Facebook. She sees my transition. So she ends up calling me. I missed her phone call. She left me a voicemail. So I ended up listening to the voicemail and everything like that. And she basically was like, I don't want nobody seeing you like that. And you look like a damn shaggy dog with that wig on. And like, I mean, she started going in. I don't want nobody from my church to see you. I don't want nobody from my job to see you. And so finally, I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm grown. I live in a whole nother state. Like, I can do what the hell I want to do because I'm grown. And so we ended up having a huge falling out, and we ended up not talking for about 2 weeks. And my husband ended up, you know, kind of being the mediator. And it all boiled down to the fact that she felt like I could have come to tell her before I put it on Facebook. But my thing was, even when I came out as gay, like the first thing you said is, why do you have to be my son? So now that I'm wanting to become a trans woman, how do I go to my mom who said, why do you have to be my son, and explain, well, Mom, now I'm deciding that I want to transition and to be a trans woman. At this point, we have a house full of people. I mean, when I say a house full of people, we literally have everybody in the house. Everybody from friends to close people. We have everybody living in the house. And now, basically, we're all doing the same thing. We're all escorting. We're all doing a little of this. We're all doing a little of that. So when I say the money was amazing, we didn't want for nothing. We didn't need for nothing. We didn't lack anything. The money was literally there. The church had maybe 7, 8, 9 people, and literally all the bills were getting paid because we had the money. The money was good. Like, literally, money was there. Money was not an option to us. We can see somebody that says, I need, and we'll be like, okay, here you go. Here's the money. Here you need your light bill paid, here's the money. Oh, you need this done, here's the money. Because we had it like that.
We have come together to build what we call the alternative family. The alternative family to us is that we've taken a lot of people from different walks of life, whether they have prostituted like we have, whether they have stolen like we have, whether they have schemed like we have, whether they've been to jail like we have, whether they've done all of these things like we have or may not have. And notice I say like we have, and I say like we have because we have come to realize that we're not perfect people. But we use our life experience to help other people to not only be loved, but to also get to a point of independency in their lives. We want to prepare them for life and to be independent. So we have several children who are not biologically ours that we've opened our hearts and our home up to, and we've embraced them where they are. And we're trying to give them that unconditional love that they may have never gotten outside of here, because we know what it's like to be put out. We know what it's like to be rejected. We know what it's like to be put down. And so we want to bring a different light to them. Yes, we've been through those things. But if we can use these things to help make a better you, then we'll do that.
Hello everyone, my name is Prince and I'm originally from Ocala, Florida. I've recently just came up here to Atlanta about a month and a half ago. I'm here today to let y'all, in on my life story and what's been going on with me from the beginning to the end. Recently, I've been going through some things that most people probably wouldn't understand. Recently, about 2 months ago, I was diagnosed with HIV. And how I found out was in a weird way. I was dating this person for 4.5 years, 4 years at the most, but 4.5. And they weren't really honest with me. It really broke my heart. How I found out about it was through a telephone call with them telling me that they were leaving me and that they weren't, gonna be around anymore. I get home and basically all of my things are gone. My account is cleared, everything, So it's been like a roller coaster ride for me, because it's been something that I have been in denial with. I haven't really accepted it, but being here with the Wesleys, I've come around to learning how to accept it. It's still a hard situation to deal with. It's still hard to talk about, as like right now, it's kind of hard for me to talk about, but I wanted to let you guys into my world to let you know, really what's going on with me and, how I'm coping with it. And I just, all I have to really say is, just protect yourself, no matter who it is, who you fall for, anything, protect yourself, I recommend everyone to go and get tested, because it's a serious matter. You know, you want to live, you want to be healthy, you want to do all of these things. It's really hard for me to talk about this, but I want to talk about it because I want to help someone else out there that is probably going through the same thing that I'm going through right now at this moment. But day by day, it's been really hard to deal with it. I wake up some days, I wish that I'd never even woken. And I see the sun come up and I'm like, you know, God, you know, why am I still here? Like, you know, what is my purpose? Like, I'm already, you know, going through it and I'm walking around with this. So it's like, what else do you want from me? Like, I've already feel like I failed you because I'm basically living this life. But since I've been here with the Wesleys, they have really shown me nothing but love. Abraham is one of the best people I've met. He's the best father that I've had, more than the father that birthed me. And I truly, truly thank him for everything he's done for me. I came here with nothing, like literally nothing. I probably had 3 pair of pants, some underwear, and like 2 pair of socks. And basically Abraham opened his house up to me and welcomed me in like I was his own son. To me, that meant more to me than anything in the world, you know? Because I've always dealt with trying to please my real father and, you know, trying to get his acceptance, and I could never get it from him. But it took for me to actually move to Atlanta for me to get the acceptance that I was looking for. And I just want to, you know, I just want to thank God right now for bringing these people into my life, to showing me what genuine, kind love actually means and people who will actually ride for you. Because my biggest downfall is trusting people who don't need my loyalty. I've constantly go through heartbreaks. I constantly go through where people use me. They see that I am a provider. I love money. I don't know who doesn't love money, but I really, really love money. Whatever it takes for me to get to that point, to get it, I'm going to get it, most definitely. So when you see a person that, you know, money flows through their hand and stuff like that, you tend to find a lot of fake friends because they need a come up. But during that time, you know, you're so into the money that you really don't care where the people are coming from, as long as somebody's there with you and to, you know, to be your friend. But once the money's gone, you don't have those friends anymore. And that's what I constantly deal with. But the good side of that story is I found the love of my life, and I'm about to get married, and I am super, super excited. I never really thought that I was going to come in contact with this person ever, but I think a certain person who I really don't really deal with right now, because of the fact that I've dealt with sleeping with the enemy so much. And I've always wondered, what does that mean? Like, I'm sleeping with the enemy. I thought when I left my ex that was the enemy. Well, it finds out that my close best friend was the enemy as well. And I was still sleeping with the enemy. So it was a hurtful thing, because it was a 9-year relationship that I was friends with this person. For them to go out and be telling people my health status, things like this, you know, spreading rumors about things that never happened, it really broke my heart. And I just, you know, thank my fiance for basically being there for me, showing me that I'm not alone, and basically telling me I shouldn't waste tears on this person because they don't deserve my tears. But the only reason I cried because of the fact that I invested so much. I'm the type of person who would basically, if I deal with you, I'm deal with you. My loyalty goes a long ways. You really don't have to, you can be the worst person to me and I'm still gonna be humble with you, because that's all I know. I try to ask God every day to be humble. I ask him for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, so I can understand every situation that comes my way. But like I said, it's been a really hard road that I've been going down. I catch myself crying every other day. Right now, I feel like crying, but I'm trying to keep myself, together for you guys. I know there's nothing wrong with crying, but, this is a hard situation for me to deal with. I've really never even told anyone about this, but I'm coming to you guys today to let you know that I'm okay with it, and I am going to live in my truth, which I've been living in. And if you guys need any support, any help, anybody to talk to, I'm here. I can help you through it. I can tell you, what I've went through. If you need any assistance on getting help with, anything, I can help you because people have helped me.
During my experience living here in the house, we've had our ups and downs. We've cussed each other out. We've called each other bitches and whores and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we came back together. But last night, honey, last night, one of my ex-friends, honey, just had to get the popo involved, honey. I was gonna say it when I got on set. Yes, honey, she called the police and, she was missing one eyeball. And all that, honey. I'm not gonna call no names, but she called the police and she basically just told on herself, they just booted her right on out the door. She got 24 hours to vacate the premises, and all that. So, we've had our ups and downs, money problems, or whatever. But, I think this is making her stronger, a much wiser, better person and stuff like that. But, that's really all I just had to say, You're tuned in to BET, Mariah Wesley. Thank you. Now cut it, honey, cut it off.
No, I have a couple questions.
Oh, Lord, I knew he was gonna start.
All right, I have a couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I ask you the question, repeat the question and answer it, okay?
Come on with the question, honey.
How was life before Atlanta?
Oh, life was, oh Lord, here we go. How was life before Atlanta, honey? Well, it was everything, honey. I was popping them checks, running them bank cards, honey, running it up, honey. And so, you don't get that one time when that police get ready to hit your ass up. And you sit behind them bars and you think like, damn, I done fucked up. But they didn't catch me. It was a bitch that used my name and thought she was gonna get away with it. They had me sitting in jail for 4 months, but I got away. Next.
How have you been adjusting to changing your ways?
Oh, girl, this Bush Queen over here, I don't know what she talking about. How have I been adjusting to change my ways? I mean, well, my ex-friend, she used to come in the house, and pick a fight and eat a whole box of chicken, and stuff. And pick fights, get mad, when I go to hotels to have my client and she begged for $5 or $10 and I wouldn't give it to her. So I can truly say that I've changed because when she asked me this morning before she left, before she filed an eviction notice, I gave her $10, because I knew that, that's probably all the money she's gonna have, doing to the next month is due, and, she needs a U-Haul. So, next question.
I can't with you. Cut.
Just keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling.
You keep it rolling.
All right. What has been your scariest experience here in Atlanta?
What has been my scariest experience? Oh, honey, that night I was with that white man and we was in that 2017 Mercedes-Benz, honey. And the police, well, I was escorting, honey. He had paid me down. He paid me $1,500. I'm not gonna lie. But honey, I took that money and put it down in my pussy, honey, because they was like, what are y'all doing together? I was like, oh, nothing. But I had took the man to buy some drugs. And the police had followed us back, to the hotel, or whatever. And, you know, they put us over. They pulled my 9mm gas. If you want to see me act a fool, baby, I'm locked and loaded at all times. He pulled me out the car. He asked me my real name. That was so embarrassing because I was sitting here with this big wig on, honey, and then I had to tell him my government name and all that, honey, and this, and the third. And we had this one black officer. He was real homophobic. You know, he was like, him or she or whatever. And I said, I don't really have to talk to you, bitch. And I went on about my way. So I pretended to talk to the white man, honey. And he looked like he wanted to be serviced. But, you know, I kept it real cute. You know, coach, they let me go, gave me my gun back, you know, whatever. And I just mosey right on up about my way.